Well, my daddy left home when I was 3. Didn't leave much for Ma and me. Just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Well, I never blamed him that he run and hid, but the meanest thing that he ever did. So before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke. Got a lot of laughs from lots of folk. Seemed I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd get red. Some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my ways got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars that I'd search the honky-tonks and bars. Kill that man that gave me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. I thought I'd stop and have myself a brew. On an old saloon on a street of mud, there at a table, dealing stud, sat the dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from the worn-out picture that my mother had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold. I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're gonna die." Well, I hit him hard right between the eyes. He went down, and to my surprise, come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. Well, I busted a chair right across his teeth. We crashed through the walls and into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud, the blood, the beer. Well, I tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. Well, I heard him laugh and then I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun and I drew mine first. Stood there looking at me, and that's when I saw him smile. He said, "Son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I gave you that name and I said goodbye, and I knew you had to get tough or die. It's a name of yours that helped to make you strong. Now you just fought one heck of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right. Kill me now and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in the guts and the spit in your eye, because I'm the that named you Sue." And I got all choked up and I threw down the gun. Called him a pa, called me a son. Come away with a different point of view. Well, I think about him now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a son, I think I'm going to name him Bill or George, anything but Sue. I still hate that name.